And now, a word of faith with Bishop Barra. In the footsteps of Abraham.
Abraham was a man whose life was a shame. What was the shame of Abraham? The shame of his life was that he was childless. One day he had to say to God, God, I go childless. Let us read the scripture, what the word says. And Abram said to the Lord, what will you give me, seeing I go childless? He was childless. You know, the words that ends with less means a low quality, a low quantity, or even little, nothing. In his case, he had no children, and he said, I go childless. What about you? I have some words to show to you here. Perhaps this is your situation. He was childless, you are jobless, homeless, lifeless. And because of that, you feel useless. You have a meaningless life, you are spiritless. He said, Lord, I remain childless. And he had no son. But one day, the word of God was fulfilled in his life. A man who was childless had not just one. He had one child. He became a father of many nations. And now we are Abraham's children. A man who was childless now became a father of many, many nations. Because when God blesses someone, he does something great. You are going to watch now a testimony of someone that did participate of the campaign. And by participating in the campaign, this person has seen the power of God. You are going to request this envelope because on the second week of July, after the 14th, I will go to the promised land, to the gates of Haran. And those who have been childless, the Lord will add to you what you are missing. There is something missing in your life, but God is going to add it to you. You do your part, and God will do his. The campaign of Abraham, in the footstep of Abraham, is not for one blessing or for one dream, but this campaign is for the total restoration of your life. It's to change your story. See, learn through the testimony what God does when we do our part.
Obedience. Faith.
Was the door that made Abraham.
Courage. Sacrifice. Campaign of Israel at the gate of Haran.
My name is Melita Sundar.
My name is David Sundar.
We began together for 28 years. I have 3 children together. One is married, and we had a lot of ups and downs. My financial life, we had a business, which in the business lasted for a while, and it didn't work out. My husband was gambling. He was using alcohol, cigarettes. Due to that, we was having a lot of problems at home. The problems was when he comes in, it was fights. Most of the weekends was the fight, and the children was very affected.
Due to the situation, it used to lead me to gambling for just easy tension. And when I don't gamble, I go and drink. When I go home now, it can bring a lot of problem in your home. In my mind, I used to take this money for going gambling, but I say, the money what I take in home cannot do for pay the bills them. I used to try for raise for double the money. The majority of the time I will win, but I don't satisfy you. And sometimes when you start back gambling again, you end up losing everything. And wherever you live with, you drink it out.
We had many bills which we could not afford to pay. Due to that, the lights used to cut off. The other bills would come, people would come in for the whatever item that we take. Most of the time I used to be in the house without even answering when the phone rang or if somebody's at the gate, because I know who was coming there, who would have been at the gate, because it would have been somebody come to collect this stuff or for the money, which I didn't add. This situation affected our children really bad, because as young children, they were teenagers. I could not afford to give them basic things that they need. Not even a proper clothes I could afford to give them. My daughter was affected very bad with her schoolwork because the grades was just keep going down due to the situation. Then she was having suicidal thoughts. She was seeing idols in her room, images. The toys became her friend. She was playing with them. They were moving. And that was leading her to suicide. Things got so bad with us that most of the time I would just leave the house. I would spend sometimes I would spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks, go back. Situation keep getting worse. I would go again. One time I spent 3 months. When I leave, I usually go at my mother. And seeing my brothers come in and I am there with my kids, it was really embarrassing, a shame because we weren't speaking. The campaign of Israel came up. I did the campaign, but I just placed an offering. It wasn't a sacrifice for me. So the situation there never changed. Second campaign came up. I got revolted because I realized I'm in the church for so long. The pastor is speaking, I'm seeing testimony, and my life wasn't changing. So I decided to get serious. I decided to obey what God was asking me for, what the pastor was saying, and I take part in the campaign. After the campaign of Israel, things began to change. I see my husband, the addiction. He stopped the gambling, the drinking, the cigarettes. My children, they're being blessed. Things get so good that I decided to marry my husband because we was living together for almost 25 years and we weren't married. Financially, things began to get better. My husband started to get more customers, so there was no more gambling, no more drinking, no more cigarettes, so the money was coming home. He was able to provide for the children, putting food on the table. He was able to pay the bills, pay whoever we had to pay. Today, now we have our own business. We have our own car. We were able to go where you want to go, do whatever you want to do. My children, they're more satisfied now. They're able to buy what they want and not just what they need. Today, my family has been blessed so much that my husband is in church. My children, they're doing the work of God. My son is doing the work of God. He's in India. And my baby is on the altar. I can say she's on the altar.
Campaign of Israel at the Gate of Heron.
The campaign of Israel is not to improve your life, but to change. God did not improve the life of Abraham. He changed. God did not give him just one son, but made him the father of many nations. God works with abundance. You are going to request this envelope. If you are not aware of the campaign, you still have opportunity to do like this family, to do like this couple. At the beginning, she did not believe. Maybe you don't believe in the campaign. But when she believed and she made her sacrifice, and then the Lord blessed her life as a whole, her family as a whole, now she is happy. The Lord wants to do the same in your life. You just need to call this number, request this envelope, or you can take any envelope there, write your prayer request, send to me with your offering of sacrifice. Make a sacrifice to the Lord. And I am going to take your requests to the gates of Heron. There we are going to pray for you. We have done that before. This family did participate of the campaign. And they were blessed. We have been to many places. You are going to see now in this video the bishops, pastors praying for all over the whole world. We have been to Mount Sinai, Temple of Solomon, the Valley of Jabbok. We have been to Mount Moriah, to many places, all the bishops together, crying out, praying. And this is what we are going to do in this month of July. You still have time to make your campaign, to make your sacrifice, because God will do the same in your life. See now how to participate of this great campaign.
How do you participate of the Campaign of Israel? First, make the decision of putting an end to your problems through faith. Second, write down on paper your prayer request, determining that God will make happen in your life everything you wrote down. Third, send your prayer request together with your vow of sacrifice. You can make a check or money order under the name of the Universal Church and mail it to 7075 Southwest Freeway, Houston, Texas 77074. For more information, you can call us at 1-888-691-2291.